Hello everyone! Today we are talking about 5 secrets that no marketing agency wants you to know, but we're going to spill them. But first, just FYI, Instagram just rolled out that if you have less than 1,000 people on your Instagram account, you can't go live. So that includes us on our Front ROI account. So I'm doing this on my Beretta Provost account. So go check it out there, and then we're going to have to work to increase our followers, but I think it's kind of bullcrap since they're supposed to be, one of the business-friendly platforms. And we had a client even ask us, and it's like, I don't get any forewarning. They just make decisions, and we find out usually at the same time you do. There's no agency insider, here's what's coming down the pipeline for Meta, just so you know. But anyway, let's get right to our topic, which is what are those 5 things that agencies don't want you to know? Number 1, a lot of times they don't want you to see behind the curtain. So a lot of times agencies unfortunately will keep you in the dark on purpose. So that is kind of an element of control. So it might look something like you get a report, it's super vague, here's the impressions, the clicks, but you still don't know maybe who actually contacted you, what happened after you found a lead, whether your staff followed up. So with our Outfront CRM and our live dashboard, you can see what's happening with every lead, whether it comes from your ad, your website, social, or Google. So for example, you can see John Smith filled out a Google form at 10:45 a.m. and your team followed up with a text message or there was an automated message. So that's number 1. They don't want you to see behind the curtain. Number 2, follow-up. What follow-up? So a lot of times agencies don't have any part in the real plan to close them. Now, just be warned that there's definitely a point where there's a handoff where it goes from the agency to then your responsibility as the business owner. But one place that they don't do this with a real plan, where maybe you have a Facebook ads, the leads come in, and then what happens? There needs to be some kind of system in place to ensure that they're being followed up with. So that can look like missed call text back, some automated emails. You want to make sure that you have this in place. And if you're not using our system, find one that works for you. I just was chatting with someone the other day. They do home inspections, Steadfast home inspections, and he has a great software that allows for follow-up and making sure that while he's out inspecting homes, things are happening in the background, which is great. So, you have that automated follow-up and something that is happening after those leads to make sure that you're closing the gap. And then you can have your salespeople follow up after that with a phone call, but there's already been a touch point. Okay, number 3, and this is one that drives me nuts, is that agencies make it sound complicated on purpose. And again, that's a little bit of that obfuscation, a little bit of mystery, so that it seems important for you to have that agency. So that confusion equals control. The less you understand, the more dependent you become. So, they might throw out things like your pixel didn't fire, the CRT is down, and you're like, I have no idea what they are talking about. We do things a little bit differently. We try to break things down, be very communicative about what we're doing, what we're not doing. We had a meeting the other day. We've been running some ads for one of our clients, and things are not quite working the way that we want. And so we're kind of pivoting, and we're having her actually look into another company that runs ads because it was such a niche thing that there's some elements that we just don't have. So we'll be really honest with you about what we can and can't accomplish. And then if we are doing things, we can pivot and maybe go in different directions if things are not happening in, the direction that we're thinking is good for everybody. Okay, number 4, you're paying for ads, but you're losing leads. Again, the secret is the front end might be working, but that the back end is broken. So people click the ads, they call your business, nobody answers, nobody follows up. And again, you want to make sure that you have some kind of system in place. And I know I'm beating a dead horse, but it's like, this is the foundational components that we have found over the years that we're missing and are so important. And the people that are doing all the things consistently, whether, if they're doing the ads, they're doing the social, they're, having those live connections in conjunction with a system, they are having the most success. And so there are things that are going to trigger automatically, like, sorry, we missed you. Can we text you here? So here's an example. You missed 3 calls during lunch, and they get a text and an email from you anyway. And like I mentioned before, maybe you're off, you're a painter, you're a chiropractor, you're busy doing your thing. And to know that you can have somebody that's helping to handle things while you are doing your business is just great peace of mind, and it's going to help cultivate those leads. Okay, the last one, number 5, is that a lot of companies are chasing vanity metrics and not real ROI. So agencies love to show off things like, oh, look at how many likes, reach, and followers, but those aren't necessarily paying the bills. But it also depends on what are the goals for what you're doing, because sometimes those are okay if you're doing something, if you have, let's say, like a branding campaign, and that's really just to get the word out so that people start to recognize your brand. And a lot of times you will do that in the beginning, but then as you're moving along, you do want to get to the real information. So that's where the CRM can track a lot of things, where you can have a form, you can see that form, 27 people filled it out, 14 people replied, you had 8 appointments that were booked from that particular sequence, and then you saw that 3 clients were closed. So that's like where you can track some real ROI, that you see that they're coming in through the funnel. And again, on your dashboard, you can see all of that so that it's easy for you to understand what's happening and what is not happening. And it's all very clear and obvious, and there's kind of no mysteries around it. So those are some of the 5 marketing secrets that agencies definitely don't want you to know. And so if you ever feel like, you're paying for marketing, but you feel like it's smoke and mirrors, or you're not really understanding like what it is that's actually happening, we're happy to help out with that. So just shoot a DM or put in the comments that you'd like a quick demo, and we can do an audit. I met with somebody the other day. They actually have a marketing company that they're working with and doing some ads, but I still gave them some suggestions. They came for a free strategy call, gave them several suggestions, and I don't really necessarily think that they may use this in the future, but for right now they have something that's working. They wanted an outside opinion. I'm always happy to give that, and we're always happy to provide some value to you and make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck. So with that, have a great day, and we'll see you next week.